Hey family, it's your boy, and I'm back with another 6-card spread. Rye isn't out today, so I'm taking the opportunity to shine on his behalf. Anyways, the theme I got for y'all is inner child, loneliness, anxiety trigger, envy, acting out, and inner conflict. And what I'm getting off the surface of these is if you stay alone, you will face anxiety and envy what you missed out on, which will have you acting out with inner conflict, reverting back to a childhood state where you would wish you had the chance at love again. That's what I'm getting off the surface. Let's dive deep in the meat. Inner child says, what is the relationship between your shadow self and your inner child? The shadow self that we are dealing with today is loneliness. So my lonely self and inner child are very much acquainted because being alone, you have a lot of time with self. We had a few cries, hugs, even pulled each other out of situations, and we're still progressing. Next card is the shadow itself, loneliness. And it says, when do you feel lonely? I feel lonely when I have no one to talk to that's on the spiritual path like me. Someone to share information with, bounce ideas and practice with. That's when I feel alone. But I also notice that even when I do meet someone that's not mundane, it's hard to still keep that momentum going. So I would need someone very energetic that can help keep the momentum going back and forth. Sometimes I can be a person that likes to get straight to the point and not, build it up. So, yeah. Next card is the anxiety trigger. And it says, what makes you anxious? Why does it make you anxious? I get anxiety while in this environmental loop, wondering about the next attack. And though I've developed a sixth sense about it, about certain situations, I, I grow tired of these anxiety repetitions. They just don't, these outside forces just don't give up, knowing they lose every time. Guess they think they'll exhaust me out. But as long as I draw breath, I replenish energy. Next card is envy. And it says, is there a certain person you envy? When do you catch yourself being jealous and why? I envy progression because I feel like I'm not progressing in this environment. Though I've taken the necessary steps and actions to move forward. So now I just play the waiting game of divine timing. Next card is acting out. And it says, recall a time when you acted out of character. what's happening. My dog Jason is the one that gets me acting out of character. He always doing the same shit that gets to me, whether it's picking fights with his sisters or trying to fuck on them. The only time he listens is when I get angry and yell at him or have to sometimes lay hands on him. But he's gotten better at controlling himself in those situations. Now, if I could only get him to shut up, every rising he always whine. Every time he hear me get up, he always whining for attention. Next card is inner conflict, and it says, what is your greatest inner conflict? My greatest inner conflict is trying to keep the faith. Given that things are and will get better, it's hard to keep the faith going once it's established. And then you got to deal with the moment-to-moment and daily challenges of life. It's hard to keep that up once you've been triggered in certain situations. Now the time has come to get y'all on down here with the integrating cards / extra insight cards. And what I have for you is excitement, love, growth, learning and mistakes. The questions card, it always keep popping up. And greatest impact. And what I'm getting off the surface of these is you're going to question your mistakes and learn and grow from them. And it's going to have a great impact on you, where you will have excitement and be able to experience love again. That's what I'm getting off the surface. But let's dive deep into these. First card is excitement. And it says, what excites me the most about it when it comes to your inner child? What excites me is getting to know myself over again, helping me to break the masks of kindness and silence, and knowing when to use them. Because I do not want to get rid of them completely, because I've learned from them. And what I'm learning is when to use them. But silence is going to be the one I use more. Or it might just be both. They kind of go hand in hand in my situation. Next card is love. And it says, what makes me feel love when you're lonely? The two instances that made me feel love was when I'm out in the moment with Ra. But it's always short-lived once it's over. The other was when I found my twin flame. But that too was short-lived. So the only times I've really felt love was when I was sharing myself with someone on the spiritual level. Although I can get those moments back with Ra anytime I want, there's still those times when I am without him. Next card is growth, and it says, how have I grown most in the last year when it comes to anxiety triggers or anxiety periodically? I've grown by adopting a sixth sense about anxiety situations, noticing the patterns in those situations, giving me the option to figure out if I want to deal with those anxiety situations or not. Next card is learning and mistakes. And it says, what are others learning from my mistakes? When it comes to envy, I guess y'all be learning patience in the progression of divine timing, since I envy progression. So we'll learn patience. I'm constantly always learning that. But as we know, patience is hard when it comes to daily challenges and moment to moment instances. Next card is the infamous questions card that keeps popping up in a lot of sessions. And you're going to ask yourself 6 more questions on acting out this time. But for me, I don't have to ask those questions because I already found what works. And what works for me with my dogs is letting them off the chain and tossing out a snack to shut them up. But as for you all, in y'all situations, I suggest y'all to ask the who, what, when, where, how, and why on your acting out situations. Next card is greatest impact. And it says, what's the one change I could make today that would have the greatest impact on my future when it comes to inner conflict? For me, I don't know, but it will have to be something to keep me occupied once the faith is established initially. I won't continue having blind faith without something to help keep me there through the daily challenges. Because it's hard to lose faith, but it would be nice to have something that'll bring you back to that faith to keep you going. Lyra's up next, and I'll see y'all in the next video.